Hello there, my name is Triple S. Today we're going to point-by-point review and analyse episodes 1 to 3 of Andor Season 2. Let's begin. Point number 1. It's interesting the date has been formatted as BBY4, when typically the number comes before either BBY or ABY. BBY of course standing for before the Battle of Yavin, and ABY standing for after the Battle of Yavin. Point number 2. Ooh, a TIE Avenger. This ship first appeared in the 1994 video game Star Wars TIE Fighter, and if Wikipedia is to be believed, has never appeared nor has been mentioned in any major Star Wars media. So it's neat to see it finally get its big screen debut. Point number 3. Now you might think that this planet is called Synnar and these buildings comprise Test Facility 73, but not so. This databank entry on StarWars.com instead reveals the planet itself is called 73, as it is the 73rd world owned by Synnar Fleet Systems. Point number 4. In case you forgot, Kafrene is the location we actually first see Cassian in the movie Rogue One. The Ring of Kafrene, also just known as Kafrene, in the Kafrene asteroid belt in the Kafrene system.
We are an unimaginative lot when it comes to naming things.
Point number 5.
Oops.
Oops. What does that mean? What do you mean?
No, I got it. Some jerk didn't put.
I know what I
got it, though.
Point number 6. First a TIE Avenger and now a Range Trooper? Is this show going to keep bringing back things from Star Wars past that made very few appearances? Because if yes, I can get behind that. The Range Trooper, of course, making its debut in the Solo movie and not appearing much in other media after that. Point number 7. How goddamn durable is this TIE that it can be tossed around a hangar, shot at a bunch, and then smashed through the hangar doors? And it's still perfectly functional. No wonder Luthen wants to steal this thing, it puts regular TIE fighters to shame. Point number 8. So we've included the TIE Avenger and the Range Trooper. Do you want us to stop incorporating things from Star Wars history that didn't make that many appearances? Or do you want us to keep going and adding more? And so we get to see a couple of TIE Advanced V1s fresh from Star Wars Rebels. Though they were an Inquisitor's ship of choice in that show, I doubt it's Inquisitors that are chasing Cassian here. Point number 9. Chandrila as well, rarely seen but often mentioned in Star Wars Legends, especially throughout the New Jedi Order book series, goddamn. And in canon, it made its first appearance in the novel Aftermath and was a major location in the Battle of Jakku comic series. So I do believe, just like with the TIE Avenger, this episode marks the first on-screen non-hologram appearance of Chandrila. Point number 10. Okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. For those unaware, this is Erskine Samaj, a character from Rebels who only appeared in 4 episodes. Point number 11. If this was actually shot as one long take, that's awesome to see. I kept trying though to see if there were any cuts and where they could be, and the only times I could think of are when the camera moves to the side of Mon Mothma and all you can see is her and the wall. One shot could have ended and the next could have begun with her walking past the wall. And with some digital wizardry, the 2 shots could have been spliced together. But of course, I could be completely wrong and it could just be one long take. Point number 12. I'll talk about this now. This little band of rebels constantly arguing with each other like children, being distrustful of each other, and eventually breaking into smaller groups who end up fighting each other is just a microcosm of how the various rebel cells throughout the galaxy are also all arguing with each other, being distrustful of each other, and even fighting each other. Point number 13. Love that we get to see Krennic again, such a great character. And because this whole meeting is obviously not actually about for everyone, but instead secretly about how to get the Death Star up and running, he's making sure everyone understands just how monumentally important this all is, because we all know from Rogue One just how obsessed Krennic is with the Death Star. Point number 14. Oh great, first Porkins, I mean, since, you know, A New Hope came out first, even though it takes place in the future.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
And now Porco. If you're a pilot with pork in your name, you just need to stop being a pilot, seriously. Point number 15. My god, Krennic's body language here as he's talking, he's so sassy, I love it. Point number 16. Ministry of Enlightenment, my ass. More like Ministry of Propaganda, or Ministry of Lies! Deception! Yes, thank you, sir. I mean, just look at these suit-wearing assholes. Con artists if ever I saw one. Or 2. Point number 17.
You'll hear him tonight.
Why does this guy say this so smugly to Cassian? He ain't gonna be the only one hearing the terrifying beast tonight, mate. A lot of you are. Moron. Point number 18. Oh, come on, Leda. Maybe he's just got to think about personal space and physical contact. I had a girlfriend like that once. No hand holding, no arm over shoulder or around waist. You just might have to get used to waiting for them to always initiate contact going forward, like I had to. Or actually, could you imagine if Andor went there and had not just a lesbian couple with Vel and Cinta, but revealed Stecken was also gay. That would certainly anger a certain segment of Star Wars fans, I think. Anyway, let's move on to episode 2. Point number 19. I guess we're supposed to believe the rain and fog completely obscure whatever creatures came along and ate the bodies. Like, the fog meant they couldn't see the presumably massive beasts, and the rain covered the noise of them munching and crunching away. Fine, yeah, sure, whatever. Point number 20. A tyrannical government unexpectedly going into locations to intentionally find people who are there illegally, or sometimes even legally, and imprisoning them or even deporting them whether they have a criminal record or not. Ignoring the fact that imprisoning these people will significantly affect the productivity of the industries that they were working in and will also negatively affect the economy since they are no longer able to contribute to it. Now, where have I heard all this before? Point number 21. Oh yeah, just fuck this dude to hell and back. And yes, hell is a thing in Star Wars. Have you ever seen The Empire Strikes Back?
Your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. Then I'll see you in hell.
I mean, you can't even say this dude is just socially inept and isn't picking up on the not-so-subtle hints from Biggs that she isn't interested. You can't even say the tweet of telling men I'm in a relationship even though I'm single because they'd rather respect an unknown man more than my choice to say no applies to him. He's just a sexual predator through and through, and he's very aware of it. Point number 22. Hey, alright, Cyril and Dedra are a thing. Good for them, I guess. There's just nothing like surviving a deadly protest and bonding over shared trauma. Point number 23. I mean, it is good advice to always treasure the good times to make it through the bad times, but hearing that from Perrin, the guy who loves to live the good life but doesn't really want to work himself to maintain it, the guy whose idea of a bad time is being stuck listening to his wife worry about others,
must everything be boring and sad?
when he'd rather be out having a good time gambling, his speech here just comes across as pretty hollow. Point number 24. Could have just told Cassian to sit back down instead of shoving him, arsehole. Point number 25. Just goes to show how childish these rebels are that they're playing rock, paper, scissors to sort things out. At least when Val and Earl and Erlen Grady do it in the first 2 Tremors movies, they do it in a lovable, goofy way. These guys doing it though is just pathetic. Point number 26. There's no rain this time, so I guess the ruckus the guys are making as they play their game is what prevented them from hearing Cassian fire the blaster. Fine, yeah, sure, whatever. Point number 27. I love this bee specifically ate the 2 man-children leaders of the groups, and that it's called a doodah. Point number 28. Not a fan of Cassian shooting this one guy on the TIE Avenger. I guess maybe it's supposed to be like how he shot Tivik in Rogue One, it's just something he had to do, but I would have preferred it if he just made it through this whole ordeal without killing anyone. That throughout the whole thing, he was the voice of reason who kept his cool, and all the death was just the result of infighting between the rebels. Point number 29. Yep. This entire time Cassian and the rebels have been on Yavin 4, future temporary headquarters of the rebellion as seen in A New Hope. So I didn't have as much to say about episode 2 as I did episode 1, let's see how episode 3 goes. Point number 30. I always find it interesting seeing kids playing with toy versions of Star Wars things in the universe of Star Wars. Like how we see here one kid who has a toy Wookiee bowcaster and another kid with an AT-ST puppet. Reminds me of how Jyn Erso had a Stormtrooper toy as a kid in Rogue One. Point number 31. I knew the moment when Dedra said they can't keep putting off something that Cyril wanted to, back in episode 2, that it was Cyril introducing Dedra to his mum for the first time. Meeting Edie is like meeting Darth Vader, maybe even worse. Nice touch as well, showing Dedra trying on his smile and it not looking natural, like Catherine Weaver smiling in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Point number 32. I love the look as well between Cyril and Dedra after her first encounter with Edie, like Dedra's thinking seriously and Cyril's thinking, I tried to warn you, and Dedra holding a hand out for a shake but not getting one. It's something that obviously we've seen a lot happen in other TV shows and movies, but it actually reminds me more so of Brienne bowing at Joffrey's wedding in Game of Thrones. A woman doing something that's not traditionally expected of them to do. I think if Dedra had gone in for a kiss on the cheek instead, Edie would have accepted that. Point number 33. Never mind the rebels stranded on Yavin 4 acting like children, Edie easily beats them in that regard. Not knowing when to keep her mouth shut, dripping sauce all over the place and mashing her food like a toddler. Point number 34. Best shot of the episode. I'm just like, same Cyril. Same. Point number 35. Second Rakata name drop for the show. In both Legends and canon, the Rakatans once ruled the galaxy with their infinite empire, as they were the first race to develop hyperspace technology, with it, at least in Legends, actually being powered using the dark side of the Force. Yet it was the dark side of the Force that led to the collapse of the infinite empire and the almost extinction of the Rakatan race. With this mention of them in the show confirming that just like in Legends, the Rakatans were out and about in the galaxy 25,000 years ago, this could mean they'll most likely make an appearance in the upcoming Star Wars movie Dawn of the Jedi, which is set 25,000 years ago and will explore the origins of the Jedi Order and the Force. Point number 36. Don't get confused about this scene of Brasso accusing Kellan of betraying them and turning them into the Empire. Kellan didn't do that at all. Brasso is falsely accusing him of betrayal as a way to protect Kellan and his family, to make it not seem like Kellan was harboring them illegally, but instead just taking advantage of them before turning them in, like any loyal citizen of the Empire would. Point number 37. Anyone out there who complains about there being sexual assault in Star Wars, like how Star Wars Theory did, you all very clearly do not remember the likes of Jabba the Hutt keeping beautiful women as slaves, like Leia, forcing her to wear revealing clothing and licking on her in Return of the Jedi. It doesn't matter if you think she looks hot in that outfit, it's literally called the Slave Leia costume, and she was forced to wear it by Jabba the Hutt, who also sexually assaulted her by licking her. Then you have the race known as the Feline, who can secrete pheromones which make them irresistible to others, and the Feline Sizor tried to use his pheromones to seduce Leia against her will. Flipping the script, we also have the episodes Slaves of the Republic and Escape from Cadavo from Season 4 of the Clone Wars, where Anakin ends up the slave of Queen Sintel, who tries to seduce him to her side, constantly touching him, holding him, not letting him break physical contact, and controlling him by threatening Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. Sexual assault and creepy, grapey individuals have been a part of Star Wars for a long time, but I guess some people's glasses are so rose-tinted, it actually blinds them from seeing reality. Also, I saw this tweet that was made in reference to Star Wars theories, and I found it pretty funny, so I thought I'd share it with you all here. Point number 38. I've enjoyed it seeing Tay's descent over these 3 episodes, into threatening Mon Mothma over how badly supporting the rebellion has gone for him, how it's placing Mon Mothma between a rock and a hard place in not wanting anything to happen to Tay, but also not wanting him to go to Davo with what he knows. And plus, even if he gave her a number, there's no guarantee he won't come back later demanding more. But it seems Tay's story might be coming to an end since he now appears to be Cinta's new target. Mon Mothma won't be too happy about it, but like Cassian murdering Tivik, it's something that needs to be done. Point number 39. Poor Brasso dying off screen. A reminder of how sudden and pointless death can be. Quite the opposite of how we know Cassian goes out in Rogue One. Point number 40. This mix of Niamos is such a bop, and I love how it plays over these sad depressing shots of Vel missing Cinta, what might be the last time we see Tay alive, Brasso's dead body, and Wilman, Bix and Cassian mourning him, all juxtaposed with the banging tune of Mon Mothma raving out to it, as she tries to embrace this fleeting moment of joy amongst the constant barrage of stress and negativity, just like how her husband advised Leader and Stekken to during his speech in the last episode. But then suddenly the music is cut off as we go to the credits, as if to say to both Mon Mothma and the audience, that's it, that's all the joy you get, it's gone. For now. These first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2 were, in my opinion, really good. But I will say I'm glad they released 3 episodes at once, because if you compare the runtime of this video you're watching right now, where I reviewed and analysed about 2.5 hours of content, to when I reviewed and analysed episode 8 of Skeleton Crew, which was about a 30-minute long episode, to when I reviewed and analysed Beetlejuice, which was about a 1.5 hour long movie, yeah, it really goes to show just how little I could find to talk about. But I don't really mean that in a negative way. It's not that these episodes were boring or pointless. Beetlejuice wasn't boring, though a fair chunk of it was pointless with its filler characters and subplots. No, these 3 episodes were just a nice, slow burn. Cassian getting stuck on Yavin 4 and in space, Mon Mothma dealing with the wedding, Tay and Luthen, the gang on Mina Rao trying to figure out how to survive the audit. Their plots were told over the course of 3 episodes that felt more like one giant episode. Like how each entry in The Lord of the Rings is actually a volume containing 2 books, that when combined together make up the epic that is The Lord of the Rings. These 3 episodes are the first volume, and when all 4 volumes are combined, it will make up the epic that is Andor Season 2. To round all this off, my least favourite part from all 3 episodes goes to Cassian shooting the guy in the TIE Avenger as he's escaping from Yavin 4. I would have preferred it if there was no guy on the ship for him to shoot, or if Cassian did have to shoot someone, that he would have stunned them instead. And my most favourite part from all 3 episodes goes to the cutaway from Dedra and Edie to show Cyril laying on the bed. I just know that feeling so well. I see you, Cyril. I see you. Thank you everyone for watching Triple S Reviews. If you enjoyed the video, and I hope you did, give it a like to let me know. And if you want to see more, then make sure to subscribe and check our subscriptions tab for new videos. I also have a variety channel where I post a variety of different videos. If any of them interest you, check them out. I've been Triple S, you've all been amazing, and I shall see you all in the next video.